Hello, my name's Julie from Salessewunique, and I will pop all the links down below where you can find me on social media. Well, welcome to everyone to episode 170. This week I'll be sharing what I've been sewing this week and crochet and a few bits that I've bought. I haven't bought very much this week, I must admit. Yeah, I hope everybody's had a good week, and I hope you've all managed to get some crafting done. My week's been quieter than I expected. The weather's been gorgeous. I mean, I must admit it's really lovely, but I'm not a fan of the heat. I think Saturday was a bit warm for me. I don't think I had enough to drink, so I was out and about doing shopping and things like that. And by the time I got home, I mean, this was obviously after I'd finished work and everything, by the time I got home I felt absolutely exhausted. I could have just gone to sleep. But I have been feeling the effects of the hay fever. This time of the year it tends to be tree pollen that affects me, and it makes me feel really, I don't know, off it. I feel really tired. I just can't be bothered, and it's like somebody described it as feeling sorry for yourself, and I thought, yeah, that's about it. Because you think you want to do things and you just think, oh, I just can't be bothered. So I do get like this every year. It's not usually this early though, it's usually a little bit later on in the year. It's usually sort of June, July time, or maybe June. But I think because the weather's so nice at the minute, it's probably that's doing it. So I've had a little bit of a rough weekend with the hay fever, but today it's not too bad. I had to go out this morning, so I was obviously out and about before it was cool, because it is Monday today, so it's my day off work. Had to go to the dentist. That was fun. So yeah, everything's fine. Teeth are okay. My gum where I had the tooth out, that's healed up lovely, so no problem. So another appointment for 6 months time. So then I popped into the shop, had to pack up some orders and get them posted off today, which I've done that, and then collected some bits up, and I was straight back home. So I've hidden out of the way of the sun today, which has been nice. I must admit, I've been doing a little bit of crafting today and just had the fan on, lots of nice cool drinks, and I've thoroughly enjoyed myself, because I don't usually get to do that on a Monday. It's usually I'm busy doing something else. So yes, I've had a nice day today. So during the week I have been, like I've said, crochet and sewing. That's probably about all I've done, but like I said, I only sort of crafted up till about Friday. That was as much as I've done, and then apart from the bit I've done today. Couple of purchases. So I'll start off with what I've purchased, because I've got a little pile here and I'm just going to have to work my way through things, so they might be a bit jumbled up today. First thing I've got that arrived the other day, I think it arrived over the weekend, is from my bias binding subscription club from the Specky Seamstress, and this is like I'd say an off-white, and it said made for me, which I think that's lovely. So I don't always use it for clothes, I do use it in the crafts that I do, so I love it because it's something really different, and yeah, I'm going to keep going with my subscription. So I look forward to these every month. And then the next thing I bought is I bought a bit of yarn. I mean, look at that. Does that not scream ice cream? Because it does to me. And this is Burnet baby blanket, and it's 100% polyester, and it's a super bulky, so that's an 8mm crochet hook and an 8mm knitting needle. I mean, it feels really nice and soft, so I've got a plan for this. So like I said, it screams ice cream, so you'll have to wait and see. I have ordered another ball of yarn. That's a mint, but that's not here yet. That's not coming till, that won't be until next week. So, and then the next thing I haven't actually bought this. Well, I've bought the filament for this, but Jake made this for me. So I have got my own yarn bowl in sort of shop colours, I suppose you could say, because my colours are sort of purple, teal, bit of blue. So, and this is the nearest I could get. So the bottom is a little bit loose because I've got to get some weights in there. So that's it. So you have to put some weights in and then put your base in. So Jake made this for me. So this is 3D printed. And I've been using it, absolutely love it. I don't tend to put my yarn through here. I just put my yarns into balls, sit them in there and just crochet away, and the ball just unravels, and it's really good. So absolutely love this, and it's perfect size for a 100-gram ball. So I'm going to get Jake to make a few more bits for me. So it's nice to have something new. Yeah. So that's another thing. So I'll put my yarn in there. And the next thing I got was my 2 balls of blue chenille yarn. So this is powder blue, that's it. I might have spoken about this last week, I can't recall what I actually said last week. But this is for some slipper socks. So I'm making my daughter-in-law some slipper socks out of this because this is her favourite colour. So when I next see her, I'm going to take my socks that I've got in the shop, see if they fit her, and if they do, I know what size to do her. And if I need to make any adjustments, I can do it when I see her. But I don't know when I'm going to see her at the minute because she's not been very well. So it'll be at some point. I mean, because they're not needed at the minute because it's not cold, is it? So I'll pop this down on the floor. Right, well, I'll share with what I've been sewing because that's sat here. Right, well, the pouch I was going to make for myself for my iPad, I actually managed to do in the fabric that I wanted to use. So this is, oh gosh, what's this called? Kim's Forest or something? So I've got fat quarter bundles on the website, and like I say, I think it's Kim's Forest, and actually I really like this fabric. And I've got some purple cord. Now I must admit this has settled down a bit because when I turned it right side out, it had really sort of roughed this up and it looked a bit of a mess. And obviously you've got to be careful with the pile that it all goes in the right direction, which, yeah, it's not absolutely perfect. I mean, I don't think I'd use the cord to actually make and sell anything like this, but I'd use other fabrics. But it's got my iPad in. It fits perfectly. I'll just undo the tie. So, and that's the inside, so you can see where my iPad sits. And I've got my charger there. So what I've done is I've just made 3 pockets. So I've got the wire to charge my iPad up there, and the wire in the 3rd pocket, and that's for my iPencil. So that's my charger for my pencil. That's where I can store my pencil, but as I've got a grip on mine, it sits on the side of the iPad. But yeah, so that's the other part of the collection for this Kim's Forest fabric. And on the back of the main pocket, I've got this fabric that's got a bit of everything on there. And then I've used the same for the backing of the pocket. I know you can't really see it. So there's, like I say, there's a bit of everything on that there from the collection. And then the pocket is navy blue, and it's got books on the bookshelf, cups, things like that. One has a teapot on there as well. So this has turned out really, really well, and I'm quite happy with the pockets because this is, I've made this for me what I want. And yes, the pockets are down to here, so yes, the cables will slip down, but you can reach them, and it suits me. And I think the width of the pockets, you can still get several crochet hooks in there, pencils, pens, or whatever you like. You know, it's not just for an iPad, but my iPad is a generation 9, so it's not one of the big ones or anything like that, but like I say, it fits in there lovely, and it's just something nice to keep my iPad in. Keeps it clean, protects the pencil, so I like it and I'm happy with it. And like I say, you can fit a notebook in it as well, journaling supplies, whatever you want really. So with the rest of the fabric, I have, that's the original one with all the pockets on the inside for like pencils, crochet hooks, things like that. So I think there's 6 little pockets in that one. And then these 3 have got 3 pockets in. So I've used that nice flowery fabric there, and I've used this all the way through, so that's on the back of that pocket. And then we've got the checked on the inside, and then the 3 pockets there, all using this gorgeous flower fabric. And all I've got to do this week is take these pouches, I should say, to the shop and put the 2 buttons on each pouch, and then when I've got time this week, I'm hoping, is to get them photographed and then get them on well, on my Etsy shop probably. So, and then the next 2, I've got the William Morris fabric on the inside. So yet again, it's on the 3 pockets there, on the back of there, on the back of the main pocket. So, and this one's the same. So these 3 will be going into the shop, and I'm just going to see how they go. If they sell, great, I'll make some more. If nobody's interested in them, I'll not do any more. That's all I can say really. But I've enjoyed making them, really have. Really nice to do. Right, well, on to crochet now. What have I been crocheting? Right, well, I have a bag of finished frogs here. So the first one is, I know I shared the pattern last week, was this little keychain frog. Now you have to do this part first and join them together like you do with legs, which it is quite small, so it was a bit fiddly, and I found the first one a little bit awkward to do. I mean, I've only done one. So that's mine. Now I put safety eyes in. Now the safety eyes I stock at the shop are from Trimmets, and they're really nice. They don't break, they don't shatter, they're good, but I've only got so many sizes in. So I knew I'd bought some off Amazon, different kinds, and I put the Amazon ones in, and I've got a little tool that sort of presses it together, so because they're a bit hard, it's hard on your fingers when you're trying to put the backs on these eyes. Some of them are very, very stiff, and the eyes just shattered twice, and then one of them fell out altogether, and I thought, oh, this is not looking good. Now embroidering the faces is always something I've sort of shied away from, I should say, because it's not my favourite thing to do. And I think because the wool needles are blunt and you can't get it through properly, through the yarn properly, so that's what's always put me off. So I know when I've been watching other sort of crochet YouTubes, and most of them have got the big-eyed curved needle which has got a point on, so I thought, right, I'm going to get myself a pack of these. So that's actually another thing I bought, which came yesterday, I think. Yeah, Sunday it was arrived, and this is what I've been doing today. I've been finishing off all my frogs. So I've hand stitched the eyes, the mouth and the little cheeks on, and they've actually turned out okay, so I'm quite pleased with that. But I've only done one of these at the minute. Now we'll see, I'll show you the other frog. I've done 4 other frogs and I've got this much yarn left, so I think I'm going to do another 3 of these, see what's left of this and see what I can make. So I'm trying to use the ball up before I go on to anything else. So yeah, but this pattern, really nice, really easy to follow, and I have enjoyed it. Right, well, the rest of the frogs, it's the chubby frog crochet pattern, but I haven't done the lily pad because I don't want that part at the minute. I know you can't really see it. That's it. It's only a small picture, I'm afraid. So yes, I have done. I've got a group of frogs. I don't know, is there a name for a group of frogs? They're all in a bag. There. I mean, how cute is that? So you can see I've got proper eyes in there. So they're in nicely. So I've embroidered the mouth and the cheeks. So that's one. That's another one. So we've got 2. And then there's 2 more. So we've got 4 frogs all together. These are nice to do. I really enjoyed doing these. So they're finished. So I'm going to pop them away somewhere safe until Adele goes off to one of her bigger shows. So yep, that's that done. Then obviously at the weekend, because I wasn't feeling so good, I thought I want to do something easy. So I've got this little pattern, and this is Billy the Bear. This is one of the, oh gosh, what are they called? Love Craft Kit, oh, I don't know. I've got them in the shop, they're on the website, and this is Billy the Bear. He's a little dumpy bear. So when you sort of buy the little kit, it comes with everything you need in it, and it's cotton yarn, which I didn't want to do it in cotton, I want to do it in chenille. So if he was done in cotton yarn, it'd probably only be about that big. So I started in the chenille, the Jelly Baby. I think it was the Jelly Baby. No, I think this is a Snuggle Puff, this one. And is that big so far. I've increased to 50 stitches here. I've got another 3 rounds to do on this of 50 stitches. Then I've got an increased round to take it up to 60 stitches, I think it is. I think I've got, oh, yeah, I've got to take it up to 60 or 64 stitches for 3 rounds. Then I start to decrease. So he's going to be about up here, I reckon. So and then he'll start to curve in. So, so he's going to be quite chunky, this one. Yeah, so that's him there. So then I've got the snout to do, pop his eyes in, his ears. Now I don't know if I'm going to do his little arms or not. I'll have to wait and see. I'm going to wait and see how he looks. If I get him finished for next week, I might ask and see what people think. Do I put the arms on, or do I leave him as a little chunky bear? Alright, so that's that. So I've got one more thing to share that I've not done a lot on. But if you remember last week, I shared, let me see if I can find a picture. Oh, there he is, of Fliss the Fox. Now that one's done in chenille, and it's been finding some sort of fox coloured yarn, and I have searched online for a few days. Couldn't really find anything. The colours, sometimes the colours look right, but then when you order them, they're lighter than what's online. So I thought oh, I'm going to leave the chenille for now. And I thought if I do this in like a chunky yarn, I know it's going to be a bit smaller, but at least I'll know if I like it, you know, crocheting it. So yeah, so what I did is I ordered some it's Signet Pato chunky yarn, and this is pumpkin, and this actually looks quite nice for the fox. I mean, I think I could do with it maybe a little bit darker, because the fox is like a reddy brown, isn't it? So, but it'll work. It'll work. And I've got the legs done, so you can see what size it's going to be. It's not going to be very big, I don't think. So we've just started increasing. I got the black on the bottom. Well, I certainly understand why people don't like crocheting or knitting with black yarn. It's terrible. I was crocheting blind. So, but I got the right amount of stitches. I didn't make any mistakes on it, so we got there. But like I said, I did this sort of the other day. There was no way I could sit and do this at the weekend the way I was feeling. So I've got his little tail, so that's all done. It's quite firm though, this. It's going to be quite nice for the fox, I think. So that's his tail. And then I've got his, like, what's this? Part of his nose. So I've got that. So it's in two parts. So I've got that done. So I'll probably get his arms done. Actually, no, I won't. I'm going to get the body finished, because I'm hoping one ball of yarn's going to complete this if I'm lucky. So yeah, I'm going to do the body, then I'll probably do the head, then the arms and the ear. I have got a second ball of yarn just in case I need it though. Yeah, the only thing I'm not sure about is the part on his chest. Now, I know it just looks, it's a nice shape, but you chain so many, then you go up one side, and then it confuses me. So I haven't really got a clue what I'll be doing on with that. So what I might do is, I'm seeing my friend this week. We're going out for lunch one day at the end of the week. So I might ask her for some advice and see if she can point me in the right direction. So I'll have to take my yarn with me. See if she can explain it to me, because it's just confused me. So that'll be that. So if I'm lucky, I might get that finished for next week's vlog. Which would be nice. But I can certainly tell the difference between crocheting with this chunky yarn and the chenille. The chenille yarn is so nice to use. I know it's not always good for sewing up the chenille yarn, it just shred a little bit, but crochet is great. My fingers are a little bit sore from crocheting with this though. But never mind, I think it'll make a nice display for the shop, so, and that's the main thing. So obviously next week it's going to be finishing the fox off, getting the bear finished, seeing what I can get out of this last bit of yarn, which hopefully I'll get one or two more frogs out of it. And if I have time, I am going to start, I might not have time for this, but ice cream cones. And I look at that, how cute is that? It's very kawaii looking, which I quite like. And I thought about doing some of these. I mean, to me that's just your basic pattern, so I thought I would put some ears on, like make a bear, make some cats or something, and hang them up in the shop window. And I would like to then make some bees to go with it, so it's got that summery vibe, because the weather's gorgeous, you know what I mean, why not? But whether I'll get onto that, I don't know, because I've got some admin-y work to do next week and stuff to get online, so you know, I need to prioritise really next week. So I've actually, yeah, so I've got one more thing to share with you before I go. Right, just bear with me a second while I get this out of the bag, because otherwise I'm going to be rustling. Right, I've got my bits out of the bag, so I'm sorted. Well, if you remember last week I shared you this cat stack wall quilt. So I think I'd cut, I'd pinned all the pattern pieces onto the felt, I think last week when I shared this with you. I can't remember. Anyhow, towards the end of the week I managed to get all the cats cut out, and I thought, right, I'm going to start sewing. You just use ordinary sewing threads to stitch the cat pieces together. So that is my pattern, so you can see things sort of overlap a bit there, and you can do some of the stitching of the cats together before you actually start layering them up. So I've got my fabric pieces here. Oh, there's another piece in here. So I think when I go to work this week, I'm going to take all this back with me, and I'm going to start and cut out and stitch together the panel that I'm going to be stitching the cat pieces together. So it's all in shades of cream and browns, so I'm looking forward to doing that, but I think I need to do it now just so I can start and stitch the cats on. So I've actually got the first large cat completed, and I thoroughly enjoyed stitching this together the other day, really did. So I am looking forward to getting the other cats on and actually getting it finished and hung up on the wall. So I'm going to put it up in the house somewhere. I might even have it out here if I can find a space, which I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, that was quite easy to do. I had a look to see if the kit is still available online, and it is. Excuse me, it is on eBay. I think there's some on Etsy, but they do vary in prices. I mean, I found one and it was about £36, and then you see it for 26, but some of them could just be a pattern. I don't know, I didn't sort of look into it. But it's designed by Rachel T. Pellman, Rachel's of Greenfield. So that is the details at the bottom there. So yeah, if anybody's interested, like I said, they are still available. How old the pattern is, I do not know, but it feels like it was a very, very long time ago that I bought it. But yeah, really enjoying it. So I can't wait to get going. I've got too many things I want to do. Right, well, I think that is everything I've got to share with you. I had a big bag full of stuff that I brought out, so yeah. So I think the aim for me is really just to try and crack on with what I've got here, and if I get time, then obviously I will do the ice cream cone, but we'll just see how the week goes, because the week just flies and I feel like I've not done half the things that I want to do, but we'll get there, So thank you for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed the vlog. If you have done, please give me a like, leave me a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. It'd be lovely to have your company each week, and if you're a regular, long-standing viewer, thank you for supporting my channel. It's lovely to have you here. So I hope everybody has a nice week. Hope the weather's still good, and you enjoy the sunshine. I'll be busy crocheting and sewing, hiding away in the cool. So I'll see you all next week, and thank you for joining me today. Bye for now.